is up, everybody? I've keep cussing in the first 8 seconds. I gotta learn how not to do that so that way we can stay monetized. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to record and review your trades. Now, if you're already recording your trades, you probably know that going through maybe 2 hours of footage sucks because you have to go through the entire video file to find each trade. I'm gonna show you a sick-ass spreadsheet that will allow you to go 30 seconds before each of your trades by just clicking a button, so that way you don't even have to fucking sift through it. It just makes the reviewing process so much easier, especially for those of you who like to take 30 to 50 trades a day. And you want to review all of them, but like sifting through it takes forever. So this isn't how to review trades. This is the process of recording efficiently, effectively, where to store it, how to quickly review your trades, so that way you're not sifting through a bunch of video files. This is the way I do it. I think this is the best way, and it all ties together, and if you're not doing it this way, then this is gonna be fucking hard for you. Okay, guys, so, without further ado, let's jump into this fucking thing. So I had to mirror the thing, so everything's backwards. Okay, so, first and foremost, you're gonna want to store this shit on YouTube, alright? Because you have unlimited video storage on YouTube. That's right. I have fucking... I don't know how many fucking hours of footage on YouTube. Thousands and thousands of hours, if not videos. I have pre-COVID shit tucked away. I have so many fucking videos on YouTube. Whatever's going on, their servers can fucking handle it. They got the fucking memory for it. So, put that shit on them, not your computer. And also, when you do it on their shit, if you notice with YouTube videos, you can timestamp chapters. Oh, look at this video. I have timestamped chapters below. Oh, that's fucking cool. Well, the thing is, we're going to use those timestamped chapters to go to each of our fucking trades really quickly, okay? 30 seconds ahead of each trade. You can make it a minute. You can make it up to 5 minutes, whatever you want to do. This is why we want to use YouTube, because you can timestamp the trades before the trades, and it's really quick. It'll make sense. Okay? I promise! Alright, so you're going to want this. Just Google or DuckDuckGo OBS. Alright? It's open broadcast software. Open broadcaster software. This is free. This is what most streamers use. It's free. There's a million fucking tutorials on it, okay? So you're gonna want a streaming software like this. What did I fucking do? So you're gonna want this streaming software. It's free, a free way to record. Gonna be honest with you, I don't know how to fucking use it. I use something else called fucking vMix. Prepare to have your eyes hurt. Oh, that's the charge from today. I use this. It's called vMix. I paid for it, but it plugs into my hotkeys, like my X key decks. So I use these to switch screens as well as use them for trading. So there's a reason I paid for this, because X keys works with this. You don't need it, but essentially this is the same fucking shit. It's so hard to fucking... Alright, anyways, let's bring this bullshit back over. Okay! So once you have it, it's the same thing as vMix, okay? So you need to make a YouTube account, and you need to get set up for live streaming. As far as I know, you don't need any subscribers. You gotta, like, I think you gotta just click on some boxes and wait for 24 hours. It can be done, okay? So once you have your live stream going... You're gonna pull up something called YouTube Studio. Let me actually show you how to get here. So there's a back end called YouTube Studio. You're gonna want to go to Create, Go Live, click on that, and then you're going to get a stream key. There's a reason it's all dots like a password, right? Because if I show you that fucking stream key, one of you fucking assholes can just hijack my fucking YouTube channel and start streaming on it. So don't ever show that to nobodies. You can also reset it as well, so it changes. So here's the thing. What you're going to want to do is copy the fucking stream key, all right? Pull up your OBS once you get that all set up and shit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come over to your fucking OBS, all right? And see this stream thing? You're going to put the key in here. Ah, shit, it's showing it. I'm going to have to fucking delete that. So you're going to put the stream key in the stream key thing, save and close. I want to click on stream. Well, obviously I'm recording right now. Okay, my shit can do both at once. Oh, look at that, it's starting to fucking stream everything. Okay, watch and learn. So I can do this, I can give the fingers to the fucking thing. It'll show it. There's a little bit of delay on it. Look, it's gonna do the fingers. Here it comes. But anyways, see, so there's gonna be latency in it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the stream. So you can either end it up here, or you can end it on your OBS. What I would do is, like, before you shut a stream down, I would shut it down from OBS. From here, like, just click on this, or vMix if you want to pay for it. Instead of clicking end stream, because there's latency in there, and it'll cut off a bunch of shit. And when you end a stream, I recommend waiting about 10 seconds before you end it on OBS. Because for some reason, it'll shut it off a lot earlier, and you can cut off shit. Like, you can cut off about 5 to 10 seconds worth of shit if you just close it too early. So that's just a little thing to do. So another thing you can do to make things really nice is thumbnail your videos. So Google Docs is free. Go to Google Draw, and then what you want to do is make a page. So in the Google Draw, so page setup, go to pixels, 1162 by 652. This isn't quite YouTube thumbnail standards, but I fucking use it. So you want to do that because it'll make a box. It'll make a box about thumbnail style, and then color the background if you want. So you can color the background, pretty fucking easy to do. And then put font on there and just date it and time it. Like, date it. You don't have to do this shit, but I can go like this. Copy and save that. So copy and save your font, and then go to File, Download PNG. So that's telling me this shit is over with. Update, whatever. So before the stream or after the stream, you can do it either or. You can put in the date, and you can put in the date, which you probably don't need to put in episode 61. This is for my coffee. For those of you interested, there is, I have a coffee, I got my prep videos, trade narration episodes. There's fucking hundreds of fucking episodes of shit. Narrations, from the trading session, so exclusive content here. But anyways, with that being said, I wouldn't timestamp anything yet. You're going to want to timestamp after the fact. You're going to want to make it private or unlisted. It's up to you. Otherwise, if it's public, then anybody can see it if they find your channel. And then you can go change the thumbnail. And as you can see, we updated it, so it's got the date and time. So it's a great way to organize things, to keep it nice and stuff. So things that I recommend you do when you stream. So what I recommend you do when you stream is you can do something called picture-in-picture. You're going to have to watch another tutorial on it. So what you should do is, see how it says 1242 up here? This is the clock that is at the bottom of the right-hand corner that's behind me. Notice that it's very small. You can see down there it says 1242. The problem is when you're pausing the video or moving the cursor, this YouTube font will kind of crowd it and you can't read it. So I recommend you move the taskbar either to the top of the screen, which isn't good because then the copy link is there. What I do is just do picture in picture. And then when you're recording, what I'm doing is I'm recording the actual clock, but I zoom it in on the streaming software so it's way up there. So that way I can see what time it is easily without looking, you know, like without dealing with this bullshit that's real tiny and every time I move the cursor you can't fucking see it anymore. So there's tutorials on how to do that. So essentially you're streaming your clock, you blow it up, you zoom it in, put it somewhere where you're like near the top, and then stream your recordings. This is actually 3 screens. So I have... This is actually 3 different fucking screens right here. So I have 2 trading computers, the Sierra Chart one, and then the Jigsaw only PC. So that's a big clusterfuck if you got 2 computers. Chances are none of you do. I have to use a capture card in order to do that. But the thing is, I'm recording right here because I have a fuckload of monitors. This right here is one monitor. This up here is another monitor. And the Jigsaw is also another monitor. So what's going on is I'm recording essentially 4 things at once. I have 4 overlays. The clock at the top, the Jigsaw PC, which has to come in through a capture card. Don't worry about that if you don't have a second trading PC. And then, of course, these 2, which are on the same PC. So you can see they're about monitors width. So I like to record as much as possible for the reviewing process. And you can overlay these screens or move them in specific ways to where you can record multiples. Now the problem is they're really small because I like to see the charts unfolding in recordings, not just the DOM, because that helps me like look at it from the perspective of the hard right edge, because I don't want to really look at charts after the fact. I want to look at all my charts as they're panning out. So what I can do is let's go back a little bit. So obviously I'm just looking at and what's happening right here is you see how it changes. What I'm doing differently than what you may need to do is when I'm recording my sessions, I have hotkeys. This is a bit excessive, but I'm using hotkeys. So that way, if I'm looking at one specific monitor, I'm in the habit of pressing a hotkey to where it'll show just that monitor. When I'm looking at the DOM, I'll press a hotkey to where the DOM will pull up. So wherever my eyes are going, my fingers are kind of hitting keys to going to where my eyes are. So that way, if I'm looking at just this chart, I'll go over to that chart. If I'm looking at that chart, I'll go over that chart. If I'm kind of looking at everything, it'll show this. The auction vista is behind these charts. You can barely see it. Sometimes I look at just the auction vista, such as right here. So I have it all programmed to where it's moving around. Chances are you don't need to get that complex, but for those that want to, you can, because when it's showing just these charts, they're so small that it's kind of hard to see shit after the fact. I can make sense of it for the most part, but also because of the coffee and the narration episodes, I do that with my recordings to help the viewers. So you know, whatever you're doing though, you definitely want to get that clock up there. It's going to help substantially, okay? So now what you want to do is just stream the session. Now, the problem is like looking for the trades, okay? For instance, this recording from today is over 2 hours long, and I believe there's about 6 trades in this specific recording. So one thing you can do is take the timestamp of your P&L, because there should be an entry time. And what you can do is use this clock to find the entry time. Okay? So if the first trade was at 10:40 1050. Well, I gotta scroll through this fucking thing and find 1050. Oh, that's 1059. I went too far. Oh, that's 1055. Here's 1052. Fuck. 1050. There it is. Okay, the next trade might be at, 1130. So 1133. I went a little too far. 1130. There it is. And then see, that clock up there really helps. And then I can use the arrow keys to kind of dial it back 5 seconds. But if you're taking a lot of trades, it's just a pain in the ass to constantly do that shit. So what I'm going to show you what you do here is, what you want to do is scroll down, and you're going to be timestamping into the timestamp below. So these are all the timestamps. So I took 6 trades. The first trade is right near the beginning, about 30 seconds near the beginning. So if we watch this carefully and I go, each time I hit the arrow, it goes about so many seconds. There's the first trade. Then the next trade's at 6:58. So again, this is roughly 30 seconds before the trade, because that's all I want to see is about 30 seconds before the trade. Now, see, there's the next trade, which is a long, and then the next trade is 20 minutes into the video. So I'll click there, and I think you get the point. So we go about 30 seconds in the future. Here comes the next trade. I should be putting it on any second now. Any fucking there. Okay. So that was 20 minutes. The next trade is 22 minutes. So again, about 30 seconds in the future. See how I don't have to scroll through the fucking video to find these fucking things? And I like to see it like right before I get in, about 30 seconds. It helps. So there's the next trade. All right. So I think you get the fucking point. So how do you fucking do that? All right. Well, assuming you got your fucking live stream going, you're recording, you got the fucking clock doing the picture-in-picture shit. Here's what you need to do next. So remember how I said you need Google Docs to have that fucking thumbnail? I mean, you don't have to do it. It just makes it easier when you're scrolling through all the footage. So what you're going to want is a spreadsheet. Alright, so I have a spreadsheet with all these fucking formulas on it. It's pretty easy. So here's the thing. If you're trading, no matter like what you're trading on, at least with Jigsaw, I can export, the P&L into a spreadsheet. All right, so what you want to do is next is, what you can do is you can download your P&L. It depends who you're fucking using. So however you do that, you're going to have to figure it out. So you want to export your P&L into a spreadsheet. So just drag it in to Google Docs. It should come out as a spreadsheet. What's the most important thing is this open time. For whatever reason, they make my open times backwards. So what I need to go is sort sheet A to Z. So now it is in chronological order here. 6 fucking trades. Copy that. Command C or Control C, whatever the fuck. And then we want to go to this math formula. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Command V. You can see it spits all this math out. So you're going to have to do the formula. I'm not going to build this fucking shit from scratch for you, okay? So the first thing you want to do is the first trade's at 10:37:36. So if we go to the video, and, well, the first trade's at 10:37. Okay, so in this circumstance, like I started recording right when I put the first trade on. So hypothetically, you can go to edit video like this. And you can change the thumbnail and title if you want. So this is where you're going to timestamp this shit. The first trade is going to be 000 because the first trade came in right when I started recording. Don't worry about that. Chances are that's not going to happen. So let's go to our math. Since this is the first trade and it starts off at 000, it could fuck everything up for me because I want the trades to come in again about 30 seconds beforehand. And I might be placing that trade right away, maybe 10 seconds after the recording. and that'll fuck the formulas up for everything else. So what I'm going to do is delete that one. Control C, delete all of those, and then I want to put this. So we're going to treat this like this is the first trade. So the first trade's at 10:44 and 35 seconds. So go back to the video right here, and I can open this into a new window. So you can't see my tabs, but I can cycle back and forth. Okay, so again, the first trade is at 10:44. So all we need to do is find the first trade. So the first trade is at 10:44. All we need to do is find the first trade. So that's 10:43. So we got the clock above us, right? So what I want to do is find it right when it goes to 10:44. There it is. So I'm going to pause the video. 10:56. Notice down here, we are 6 minutes and 57 seconds in the video. Okay. So what I want to do, 35 seconds before the trade is okay. If I want to be really precise and get exactly 30 seconds, so as soon as it goes over, so then I pause it, and then I press the right arrow, and 7:01 is 7 minutes and 1 second is roughly exactly 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do is go here, and I'm going to put in 7:01. And I'll tell you how to do this formula in a minute. As soon as I do that, it gives me all the timestamps to everything. Okay? So 7:01 is roughly where the first trade starts. Hypothetically, the first one starts as soon as I start the stream. Let's pretend this is the first trade. Okay? So what I want to do is highlight all of these timestamps, Command or Control C. Go to video details and paste all of that right there. Okay, now it has the appropriate timestamp. Save it. Pull up that episode. And again, I'll show you the formula. So, the first trade, 7:01. Let's see how accurate this is. So I'm going to go ahead. It should be roughly exactly 30 seconds. Sometimes it can be slightly off. So there's the first trade. Good to go. Let's see the second trade, 20 minutes. So it's telling me the second trade is 20 minutes in. Again, about 30 seconds. There's the next trade. See, and I didn't have to search for it. The next trade, 22 seconds. Let's see if that give us exactly what we need. There it is. Again, I'm going to go through all of them so you can see how good this is. So this, I think this trade I didn't have the screen cut over. There it is. I didn't have the screen cut over, so we couldn't see the entry. And then finally, this one here, maybe the screen will cut over. So I didn't have the screen cut over for this trade either. But as we can see, it's on at 65. Again, I was editing the screens. Either way, it's working. Okay, going back to the spreadsheet. So this is why it's important to have the clock. Okay, we want to go to the first trade. Again, it's at 10:44. So let's go to 10:44. Okay, so the thing is, when you place your trade, you're placing at 10 o'clock, 10:44 a.m. in the morning, right? The thing is, we need to figure out where the first trade starts on the video itself. So the first trade we know starts at minute 7:01. So what we're going to do is do some math, okay? So we know it starts at minute 7:01. Again, I'm trying to do 30 seconds before the trade because I like a little play on the DOM before I review it. I don't want to review a trade right as it's placed. I want a little context, a little something going on. So if you want it to be a minute, you can make that adjustment, okay? So we know it's at 7:01. So just to make that adjustment, for instance, we know that like this is done at 10:58:06, okay? Let's say hypothetically that's the first trade. Well, I want to be about 30 seconds before that, okay? So what we want to do is let's pretend this is the first trade, okay? So 10:58:06. So let's go. So here's 10:58:06. So what we want to do, okay, there's 10:58. So I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna press the arrow key to the right, which goes 5 seconds in the future. Okay. Yes, I know it's 6 seconds. I know the trade is placed at 10:58 and 6 seconds. A second off isn't a big deal. All right. So let's watch the clock as soon as it turns to 10:58. Okay, so it turned to 10:58. Okay, I'm going to pause it as soon as it turns to 10:58. So we know we have 6 seconds, right? So I want to go 30 seconds, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the arrow key 5 times because 5 times 5 is what? 25, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I don't know if my math was right. Either way, if I press the fucking arrow key to the left 5 times, it'll be 25 seconds. If I press it 6 times, it'll be 30 seconds. So since it's at 10:58 and 6 seconds, I want to just press it 5 times to the left. So I'm going to press the arrow key 5 times to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each time it does that, it tells you it's going front to back. Watch, it's going to say 5 seconds. So now we are roughly 30 seconds in front of the trade, and we're at minute marker 20:30. This says 20:32. It's going to be slightly off. That's okay. Now, sometimes when you do this, some of the trades get real fucked and they're really off. And then what you're going to need to do is just make an adjustment in this. That's not the case unless there's a shitload of trades. Sometimes it happens. Okay, anyways. So with that being said, it's important to look at the timestamp. Like this says 11:19. Let's say that's the first trade of the session. So we want to find 11:19 on the clock, right? And we want to look for right when it goes from 10:59 to 11. And what we want to do, since it's 19 seconds, that's roughly 20 seconds. As soon as the clock transitions from 10:59 to 11, I need to press the back arrow 2 times. Okay? And that'll put me, 29 seconds before the first trade. If I want to be safe, I can just add an extra second on the clock by looking at whatever the play handle stops at. Like like this says 10:30, I can go, well, let's add an extra second to be safe. So I would say 20:29 or 20:28, right? And then I would take that and put it into the first trade. Okay, so that's how you make fine adjustments, and you're only doing this with the first trade. I just wanted to show you examples of how I work the other ones. So we know the first trade, yes, it's at 0:0, but again, that's not going to usually happen. The first trade is at 7 minutes and 1 second into the YouTube video. So what you want to do next is what you're going to do is you're going to have a math formula here. And if I double click it, what it's doing is it's subtracting 1044 from 1058.06. So in this first cell, again, it's subtracting hypothetically, it's subtracting 1058.06 from 1044.35. So it's doing math on time. And the difference between the entry time on trade 1 versus trade 2 is 13 minutes and 31 seconds. Okay? Same thing here. What this is doing is it's subtracting 11 o'clock and 19 seconds from 10 o'clock, from 10:58:06. The difference between trade 3 and trade, well, hypothetically it's trade 2 and trade 3. But the difference between these two is 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Same thing with this. We're subtracting 11:23:08 in the morning from 11 o'clock and 19 seconds in the morning. The difference between these two trade entries is 22 minutes and 49 seconds. And then finally, we are we're subtracting 11:28 from 11:23, and the difference is 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, what you want to do is you want to have enough of these cells going down pretty fucking far. Like if I mean, 57 trades is pretty excessive, okay? I want to just have that math plugged into the spreadsheet pretty far. So if I overtraded and took 30 trades in a day, the formulas are that far in, okay? So this number here is just some random bullshit, okay? These numbers really don't matter. It's simply doing the math for me, okay? So what's happening now is we know the start of the YouTube video is at 7 minutes and 1 second. So again, let's go to 10:44. Let's go to the first trade. So we know the first trade is at 10:44, right? Okay, so we know the first trade is initiated at 10:44, which happens to be minute marker 7:01 in the YouTube video, okay? So what's going to happen is we need to find the first trade. All we need to do is find the first trade. So we need to have that clock up there. We need to go to minute marker 7:44. And if I want to be 30 seconds, a minute, you want to do it in the YouTube video. I've explained all this shit. And then we come up with where the first trade is initiated in the YouTube video, which is minute marker 7:01. So the next formula is going to be C2 plus B2, okay? So what it's doing is it's adding this 13:31 to this minute 7:01, okay? And then it comes up with 20:32. And the reason we're adding C2 plus B2, remember the difference between this trade and this trade right here, remember the formula? Oops, it's going to be right here. Remember the formula. We're subtracting our entry timestamp, okay? Remember the difference between these two trades here is 13 minutes and 31 seconds, okay? So with that being said, since we know the YouTube video where the first trade starts on the YouTube video is minute marker 7:01, it's going to add 13:31 to that 7-minute marker. And that's how, and what it's doing, and that's how we're going to get our timestamps for the video so we can go exactly 30 seconds before each trade, okay? And remember, all these formulas right here are the difference between each entry time, because we need those numbers, so that way on the YouTube video, it can add the difference between each entry time from the starting place of the YouTube video, so that way our timestamps are pretty accurate, and then we don't need to fumble fuck our way through each video. So I want to show you the first trade. Okay, let's have it show up right when the trade is initiated, okay? Let's do that. Maybe I want to make an adjustment. Well, it doesn't show me actually placing the trade, so let's actually go to a different trade where it actually shows the trade being placed. So let's say I want it to show up as soon as the trade is being placed, which you shouldn't do that, but whatever. So give it just, okay. So this is literally seconds before it. So we're at minute 20:59. Okay, minute marker 20:59. Let's go to our math sheet, which would be this trade right here. So what I want to do is I need to adjust this right here, which I can't by clicking that. I need to make the adjustment on the very first one. I can't make the adjustment since it's all math formulas down there. So I need to make the adjustment on this. So I need to add about 27 seconds to this to get it to the right timestamp. So 27 plus that 01. So we need to make this 28 seconds, and notice the entire formula will change. Boom. 20:59. So remember, this is at 20:59. So I copy this, Command C, edit video. So go to edit video, and I'm not going to change the first timestamp, and then boom, updated. Watch it, save it. So we should be seeing the, so I click right there, it shows the trade. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at the next trade. So sometimes this happens where the fucking playhead gets stuck. Yeah, boom, right there. It's almost instantaneous. Let's see if we can see the next trade after that. I don't think we can because these don't show them. But as you can see from those two trade examples, now it's showing the trade like instantaneously. Let's double check. No, because the charts are up. So now instead of it being about 30 seconds ahead, it's only a few seconds ahead. So you can make adjustments. So let's say that your timestamps are really good, but then as you notice, maybe you're on trade 10, 11, you're putting it on too soon. It's like, okay, well, this isn't like 30 seconds ahead of time. Okay, maybe something gets off. So what you want to do is, if the first several timestamps are good, you want to save them and keep them in the description. And then what you want to do is, let's say that everything is off from this trade down. Maybe something happened to where it's slightly off, like it's no longer 30 seconds in front. Maybe it's like 5 seconds in front. So keep all your time, because you're reviewing, right, at this point. So keep all your timestamps like the way they are up until that trade. So delete those trades that are good. They're 30 seconds ahead. Command C, remove everything, and then move these up to the top. Okay, and then we got to go through the same process. So we need to find 11 minutes. So let's go to 11 o'clock. So 11 even right here. And I want it to be exactly 30 seconds ahead. So we click on this. So the trade is at 11:19. So what I want to do is go back. So I want to see as soon as the clock shifts from 10:59 to 11, which I use this example. Okay, as soon as the clock shifts. Okay. So I'm going to pause the video. Since it's 11:19, I'm going to go and press the arrow 2 times. So now it's about 29 seconds before the trade. So that's minute marker 22:46. To get exactly 30 seconds, which you don't need to, I'll just make it say 22:45. Okay? So go in here. 22:45. Boom. This spits out everything. Copy everything. Edit the video. Okay. So let's say the first 3 trades are good. The last 3 trades are not. Remove. and then paste. And so we don't fuck with the original timestamps. They're fine. We were probably already reviewing at that point. Then boom, put in the next timestamps, save it. And then this specific trade example. You know what sucks is like, this is an actual coffee episode and I'm sitting here fucking dicking around with everything. So we go to 2059. Oops. See, that came on way too quick. Oh yeah, that was the original trade. Go to 2245. So that, ignore that. So go to 2245. So let's go. These are the new trades, 2245. Go ahead and they're about 30 seconds beforehand. So again, I like to do that shit just because. So the trade should be going on. There it is. So there you go. So that's how you do the timestamp. Now, if you take a fuckload of trades, like 30 trades or some shit, and you're reviewing, what I recommend you do, because the timestamps are going to be so fucking full, that go to edit every now and then and just like delete, you know, five trades or 6 trades at a time. Delete those timestamps. Save it. So that way, like, you don't have a fuckload of timestamps, and just start deleting the ones that you reviewed. So that way you don't keep scrolling down in the timestamps. So you can see where I go like this. And then, you know, I reviewed them and I can just click. So that's how you essentially do it. So if you want to bring those timestamps back, you can always do that. Again, I'm going to bring all the original ones. I don't need the first trade because it's at 0. So bring these back in. The first trade's at 1044. And 35 seconds. So I'm going to wait till it goes right over. So as soon as the clock changes, any fucking second now. Right there. As soon as the clock changes over, so since it's 10:35, I want to add 5 seconds, so it's at 10:55. So make it just say 7 even. So go up here. 07 even. Boom, got everything I need. Control C, edit the video. We know the first one is 0, 0, so let's make sure we put that in. Save it. And I need to double check because this is like on coffee. I want to make sure that you guys, because here's what's cool is when you do the coffee, you can go see my timestamps and just go to the trades. You don't need to watch a full 2-hour stream. And they're usually always time-stamped about, you know, whatever. So let's double check to make sure this one is good. Should be. There it is. And let's double check the next one to make sure it is good. There it is. Alrighty, guys. So that is how you can make the process super quick, super efficient. You're not scrubbing through a bunch of footage. And if you're practicing doing tick drills and you're taking 50 fucking trades a session, this is how you can quickly review those tick drills and you're not just mindlessly scrubbing through footage, which this saves a fuckload of time. Trust me. If you take a shitload of trades, this can take tens of minutes off the review process. Guys, I hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you in the next one.